Good morning, John. You notice still no white jacket. I'm still waiting for the blood. Bombshells?
Yes, my God, the third one. And just to summarize for our viewers, we've had 3 now. The first one was, because of your movie Skin on Fire, we will arrogantly take claim for the companies that advertise purported cures for chronic eczema feel compelled to say it's steroid free. That was not happening before the movie, before your movie. All the drug companies now are highlighting the fact they're steroid free. Number 2 happened 2 weeks ago, and that was Select Health discontinuing support and payment for the drug Dupixent, with potentially others to follow. Huge bombshell. We've done another follow-up video to that. It's incredible news. Here is the third one, and it's a boom. Yahoo News put on their splash page day before yesterday a story that's titled, "A 25-year-old ended up bedbound and covered in scabs from a skin condition that some doctors don't believe exists." Yahoo News cover everyone that started with their splash page. The big news within it is that you are extensively quoted within this article. I'll just read a couple of excerpts. We will put it in the description below, a direct link so you can read the article yourself. It says, awareness of the condition, also known as topical steroid addiction or red skin syndrome, has grown in recent years. Here's the bombshell. This is partly thanks to people sharing their experiences on social media, particularly TikTok, where topical steroid withdrawal tags have at least 600 million views and videos about the condition on people's feeds. Absolutely incredible. And we know one of the leaders on the TikTok revolution is Ryan in England, who reposts this work and his own original content, and we're deeply grateful for him. Rapaport said that topical steroids could cause an itching, burning, and stinging rash, as well as a red rash that developed in other parts of the body to the initial inflammation. And when people stop using steroids, it's perceived as chronic eczema. What do you have to say about this bombshell?
Wow.
It's a bombshell.
Well, you know, to me, a bombshell is if you wipe out all the enemy. The enemy is still out there. They're still giving the steroids out. I wish that you would also read the dermatologist's reply in a review group. They are stubborn, truculent, stagnant in their thinking, refuse to change their ways. And they're the ones who are writing the prescriptions.
One of the quotes in the article, I'm quoting you to your face, it said, Rapaport said that some remedies could be helpful, but that he has also seen people suggest outlandishly outrageous treatments from acupuncture to standing on your head. These people need medical care instead.
I did say standing on your head. And in fact, I remember being interviewed by this young lady in England over the telephone several months ago. How many more interviews, how many more patients, how many more suffering, how many more photos to change the way?
See, this is where you and I depart in our perceptions. You think that it's got to happen on the physician and the pharmaceutical side. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's going to happen on the user side, driven by TikTok and social media and the word getting out and you doing the interviews that you're doing, including this. I'm telling you.
Okay, you're the perennial optimist.
But it's happening. And this is from a dermatology group. And I'm just going to read a quote by a physician. Here's what this doctor writes, a dermatologist, might I say. Apparently, the topic of topical steroid addiction and withdrawal is prominent on social media these days, particularly TikTok. Now, this isn't the article. This is a doctor writing in a derm group to other dermatologists. The topic is prominent on social media these days, particularly TikTok, and I anticipate we'll be getting more questions about this from our younger patients. Younger patients, those kids that just don't buy whatever you're saying. Old people come in, yes, doctor, you've got the white coat, put me on the $40,000 a year drug. Young kids say, no, what the hell are you talking about? So younger patients, that's a little bit of a squeeze right there.
If I may interrupt,
yeah, go ahead.
1 second. Well, these are the ones who have eczema. You have eczema when you're 1 month of age.
Right.
When you're a teenager, when you're 27. You don't get eczema unless you're really, really addicted after 50 years in your 60s and 70s. Those people, luckily, are rare because they have gone through hell all of their life. Misspent life because of the doctors.
This doctor continues to write, with increasing awareness among this population, see, doctors are used to being the gatekeepers. They don't like it that they're now not. They're going on TikTok. They're reading on Yahoo. They're hearing about Select Health. They're no longer the gods in the white jackets. With this increasing awareness among this population, sorting out the real steroid withdrawal cases may be challenging. Oh, come on.
Oh, challenging.
It's gonna be challenging.
They're a dime a dozen.
Yeah, right. I can imagine how some patients who are truly just bad atopics thinking they have this symptom, this syndrome. As well as psoriasis, those with chronic allergic contact, etc. It's also possible that some of the folks we assume, folks, I love that word. Folks. How could you just?
Boy, he smokes
just
his
demean
pipe.
me without demeaning
He holds
me,
hands with his patients.
Folks.
He lives in a little hovel of a house in the backwoods.
Folks.
He makes house calls at 3 a.m. Oh yeah, that's the kind of doctor he is.
Yeah, we're gonna put on our best overalls, load up the Model A, and go see the doctor. Yeah. We're folks.
This is how he gets his car running. He revs up the motor with.
How it's possible some of the folks we assume to be atopics are actually suffering from topical steroid withdrawal. It's possible.
Oh, wow.
We've assumed
that
they're atopics, but it's within the realm of possibility that this Rapaport nut could be right.
If I may interrupt one more time.
Yeah.
It's the chronic users of steroids.
Of course.
The vast majority are eczema atopics. That's about 90%. Psoriasis patients use steroids chronically, but they were being replaced by oral and shots of drugs 10, 15 years ago, so less and less, but they use chronically, and they look the same as the eczema. There are photodermatitis people, sun problems. There are older folks who are itching and use steroids chronically, and there are a couple other rare diagnoses, Grover's disease. But the vast majority are eczema people.
A chronic atopic.
Chronic user.
A chronic atopic, by definition, is probably going to be a chronic steroid user.
Of course.
Right?
It's a slam dunk.
So the words are just
absolutely slam dunk. In fact, if you do a biopsy and do a workup and listen to the history, they're entirely different.
Yeah.
They don't have what the eczema people have.
He goes on to write, it seems, I love this, it just seems, it's just kind of becoming apparent. It seems the nature and prevalence of this disorder, that being topical steroid addiction, remains poorly understood.
Poorly understood. After 9 papers, 7,200 cured patients, 20,000 inquiries on the internet, poorly understood.
But do you appreciate what's not being said here?
They're hiding in the closet.
No, he's opening the door to it. Oh, it's poorly understood. I didn't know. So maybe as this becomes more relevant, I'm going to learn something. They're already in retreat, Marvin.
But they have to put their Botox shots away first.
I get it. They're in retreat. The fact that this person wrote this on a derm board is opening the door to acknowledging Not that they were wrong, but they weren't availed to heretofore information.
Okay, and you and I being besieged on a daily basis by hundreds of inquiries of the social media people talking to thousands of patients, of other doctors who treat these people in the scores, and this man has never heard of the entity. It's rare.
He's not the gatekeeper anymore. He's coming to terms with the fact that he's not the gatekeeper. When the doctor walks into the examination room with their white coat, what they say is the rule of law. It's undisputable. They can't take it. His final comment: social contagion is definitely a thing. So you being on TikTok and YouTube is definitely a thing. And it wasn't that long ago. Here you go. It wasn't that long ago that the prevalence of Tourette syndrome increased 100-fold on TikTok. I don't know what the hell that means.
It's a rare.
No, I know what Tourette syndrome is, but I don't understand the analogy between.
They start talking about it, so then people came out of the woodwork, and say, "I have it also. I think I have it."
Well, because their physicians have been telling them that they need to take Dupixent and stay on.
Well, if I may, if you're through reading that.
No, I'm not. His last comment is, "So buckle up." He's telling the other physicians to buckle up, because YouTubers and TikTokers who have chronic eczema and have seen your videos are walking into the office informed, and they're pissed.
Well, I'll tell you where this probably is coming from also. From another highway, not Little Country Road. The same group that I'm involved with, I listen to the comments. They recently have become infuriated with a group of non-MDs, female, who knows what practitioner, possibly nurse, probably not, who is treating all of the cosmetic people with Botox and fillers and taking over. They are worried that their livelihood is gone, being taken over by an avalanche of young women who are going to take care of all of the patients. They will not see any patients
Okay,
anymore.
let's go there. If the habitual chronic use of topical steroids is no longer a thing, because remember, we've talked about it and you've said it, the green light, red light of steroid use is skin, right? The skin atrophy or the thinness of the skin.
Okay.
What's the medical term?
Atrophy.
Atrophy.
Yeah.
So Dr. A, B, and C say your skin looks great. It's not atrophying. Here's your clobetasol refill. If that all of a sudden is taken off the table, and if all of a sudden, through awareness, and if all of a sudden some of these injectables and some of these chronic eczema treatments, if all those become unfunded by the insurance companies, what happens to the practice of dermatology?
Well, there is psoriasis, and there are skin cancers, and I got to do mold checks, and I worry about sunshine and people dying of melanoma, exaggerated for sure. There's enough, and people are very conscious of their skin because that's how they show themselves to the outside world. So they run. The heart, okay, so I won't have a dessert. My heart will be okay. But look, I got to look good. I have a job interview tomorrow, etc. I have a pimple. I can't go to the prom.
I agree with you, but this doctor says, so buckle up, because he sees the avalanche of patients who are either not going to come the door to confront him, or are going to come the door and confront him. I'm looking at this photograph of this woman on this Yahoo article, which was reposted from an Insider magazine. And this woman looks like any of the people you've seen in Crawford. At some point, once awareness grows, do they walk into their dermatologist and say, "You did this, you son of a bitch"?
Well, they hate the doctors. They hate the dermatologists. They think they're poor. They think they've been gaslighted repeatedly. That term has come up so frequently. In fact, the movie is going to show on TCM this week with Charles Boyer, Gaslight, where it comes from. They think they've been taken advantage of by these doctors. And
Well, they have been taken advantage of.
They have been, of course. Misled, mistreated, misdiagnosed.
When you got a dermatologist that's prescribing clobetasol and then says, in a dermatology chat form, directed to other medical professionals, well, just we don't know anything about this. It's such a new and controversial subject.
Yeah, after 40 years.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Anyway, now you got me all fired up.
I finally got you fired up.
Oh, it's just unbelievable.
It's undisputedly despicable. And we're
again,
in the hands of the doctors.
And again, not to chastise you, but the revolution is happening on TikTok. It is happening on YouTube. It's not going to happen with the NEA or the FDA or any No, it's not going to happen with any of those. It's not going to happen. It's going to happen through patient awareness, and it's happening, and it's because of you and Ryan and Cynthia and all these other TikTokers that are out there.
Okay, you're very complimentary, John. Thanks.
Why?
Your
I'm criticizing you to tell you
your
you're wasting your
comments,
time?
your thinking is dynamite.
Well,
just dynamite.
It's happening. I mean, if nothing were happening,
and here, I'm sorry for interrupting, but
No,
let me tell you,
fine.
I mean, you're dynamite. I just complimented you. And let me tell you, last week I was thinking, maybe I can replace John with artificial intelligence.
that's fine.
No way.
I want to replace myself
John.
with artificial intelligence.
No
You
way.
kidding me? If I can figure out how to bill it, I'm done. I'm willing to replace them. All right. Wow. Another big bombshell.
Good.
Congratulations.
Good.
Yahoo splash page. This is the third one. I think there's going to be more.
Okay, I have my fingers crossed. I want another cured person today. I want another cured patient tomorrow. I want them all to be cured.
The genie's out of the bottle. Let's sit back and watch the show.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Okay.